AI-powered photo search allows you to freely input a word or a phrase, and the AI will match it with all the photos in your collection that it perceives as relevant. This feature can greatly assist you in quickly finding specific photos within your collection, making the manual tagging of pictures largely a thing of the past. This video aims to compare how all the major photo services perform this essential function. I want to point out that I represent Picular, which is by far the most unknown service among these competitors. That said, I strive to make this comparison as fair and transparent as possible so it can help you pick the service that best suits your need. For this comparison, I will include Apple Photos, Google Photos, Adobe Lightroom, Flickr, and Picular. My test data consists of 1,000 photos from my personal collection spanning various moments over a period of 10 years. I've selected 8 different words with varying levels of complexity to provide a comprehensive overview. The words is sunset, car, bowling, fortress, flowers, beer, happiness, and fjäll. The last one is the Swedish word for mountains up north to also test how and if the different services can handle other languages. Please note that if you conduct your own testing, all services may require a few hours to pre-process your photos before the AI search functions correctly. Let's get started. First out is Apple Photos and the word sunset. And we can see it says 20 photos, and if we look into all of them, I would say that all of these are fully acceptable. I should point out that most of these photos is actually sunrise, but since it's very hard both for humans as just as with an AI to see the difference between sunset and sunrise, I would say this is very acceptable. Moving on to Google Photos, I only get 3 results. They are fully acceptable. Moving into Adobe Lightroom, 12 results. However, let me inspect some of those results more in detail. So this one I would say is daytime, but in the same time the sun has a low position in the sky. So let's be kind, let's approve, okay? And the other one is this one, which is also, I would say, daytime. So I guess it's just been considering all the shadows from the trees as an indication of sunrise or sunset. So I won't approve this one, which means I will only be giving Adobe Lightroom 11 points for this word. Next up is Flickr, and this is the starting page, and it's not my photo, so I'm always kind of confused with Flickr where to find it. So I go into You and Photo Stream. Here's my photos. Next confusion with Flickr is if I search here, I see photos from other people. So what I need to do instead is to use this little search icon, which then takes me back to the general search, obviously now with like my account as a tag, but anyhow, I think it's kind of confusing. And there's no matches, just a lot of ads. Okay. And last, Picular. One thing I need to point out that is very different with Picular is that instead of only showing a few safe results, we sort photos based on their relevancy. And we find this way more helpful when searching for photos. You'll understand after watching this video. And as a first example, if you take a look at, for example, this photo or this photo, you can clearly see that it has that sort of sunrise or sunset lightning. I would validate all the photos up until and including this one. Let's continue with the word car. Apple Photos goes first. And we get 4 photos, and I would say all of them are valid. Google Photos, only 3 results. And Adobe Lightroom, in this case, I get 15 results, but it's very obvious that not all of them are valid. So I would count 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's see if Flickr can surprise us. Nope. And Picular. This one was obviously tricky for Picular. The only clear score is the first one. But just to explain a little bit on the relevancy for the others, you can see in this one some sort of seatbelt. Then you have roads. And here you can see this kid with a steering wheel. I think the same goes here. And now, in my ambition to be fair with others, I will only consider the first one valid. Next up is bowling. Apple Photos gives us 21 photos and I can validate all of them. And with Google Photos, I get 7 valid results. Adobe Lightroom, 3 valid results. Flickr, 0. Picular. So this is another example where I think the relevancy sorting you find in Picular is really helpful compared to if it was only showing you the safe results. Because if I scroll down here, I can see that all the way up until this photo is from the same moment or event, which to me would be helpful when looking for this group of photos. And the fact that there's a lot of photos that's not relevant at all doesn't really matter, since I will just stop scrolling at the point where I don't see it relevant anymore. Scoring this becomes a little bit tricky now, and taking consideration that some of you might not agree with me that these ones are relevant. So let's just say that up until this photo, all the photos are related around the actual bowling lane, and counting all the photos up until this one makes it 25. Back to Apple Photos and the word fortress. And here's an interesting thing with Apple Photos. As you can see, it gives me a search suggestion for fortification, and that would give me then 2 photos. But in this case, I will type in fortress, which gives me 0 results. Over to Google Photos, no results. And Adobe Lightroom, we get 3 valid results. Flickr, nothing. And Picular. Okay, so the first one is clearly valid. The second one, I'm not so sure, but if we look into it, yeah, then we can see that there's some sort of ruins from something fortress-like. So I will validate that one. Third one, clearly valid. Here also some type of fortress going on. And I will validate this one as well, because it both have the walls, and especially looking into the silhouette here, you can see the formation that's very typical from a fortress. That will be it. So we give Picular 5 points. Next word with Apple Photos is flowers. And we get 3 valid results. Google Photos. Let's inspect. Okay, so we have a moose, and it's clear that we also have some flowers. And with Adobe Lightroom, we get 7 valid results. And with Flickr, no surprise. And Picular. Okay, so here we need to investigate a little bit. The first one, this one is a borderline, but I do think I will validate this one. Not validated. Okay, so you see some vegetation, but I will not validate this one. Not valid. Flowers of some sort. There is some flowers going on here. So I will just give Picular 3 points. Apple Photos again with the word beer. And we get 1 photo. We need to investigate it. And yes, it's clearly a almost empty glass of beer going on here. Google Photos. 1, 2, we see the bottle, and yes, we see glasses. So 4 valid photos. Lightroom. 1, not sure on this one. There are glasses, but I can't see any beer here, so I will not validate this one. No, this is not beer. Yeah, that one was valid. 2 points for Adobe Lightroom. And Flickr. None. And last, Picular. Okay, this seems tricky. Let's look into more details here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see the bottle there? Yeah, you have a beer can. No, that's coffee. Oh, yes, there is bear going on. Yes, we have a bear can. 11. Nah. I mean, there is bear here as well. Oh yeah, you see a bear can over there. Going even further, you can see that bear is going on. However, since the result is sort of chopped up with non-valid results, and to be fair with the others, let's just give this 10 points. Back to Apple Photos, and now with a quite interesting word, happiness. No results. Google Photos. Yes, 3 valid photos. And Lightroom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I would say this is happiness. No, not valid. Okay, 7. Someone is rather happy, so okay. Nah, so I summarize this to 8 points. And Flickr. Nothing. And Picular. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Nah, not really. Okay, so let's leave it up until this photo then, which makes it 20 valid photos for Picular. And now the last word, which is this Swedish word for mountains. Apple Photos gives us nothing. Google Photos, nothing. Adobe Lightroom, nothing. And Flickr, nope. And last out, Picular. All right, let's investigate. Clearly, this is Fjäll in summertime. Yes, you have it clearly in the background. Yes, this makes 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6, yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, nah, 14, 15, nah, okay, 16, 17, nah. Well, this is a typical stream up in the mountains of Sweden, but let's stop it here. Which leaves us with 17 valid photos for Picular. Hopefully this demonstrates the capabilities of the small but promising Picular, completely free to try and can be downloaded for Mac, PC, iOS and Android from picular.com, and you'll find the link in the description. Our biggest challenge is finding customers, so if you want us to continue challenging the giants, please support us by becoming a subscriber. Regardless of which tool you may choose, if you find this video helpful, please give us a like and hit the subscribe button to see more comparisons and updates in the future. See you later.